Hello, and welcome to the Tea Kettle, the DesiQuest after show podcast exclusive to our Patreon backers. This endeavor could not be possible without you guys, you beautiful backers. So thank you so much. I'm your host, Sandeep. I'm the executive producer and cast member who plays Ash. And then I got my co-pilot over here, none other than the glorious, the nutritious Omar Najam, who plays Mirka. Hi, Omar.
Hello, everyone. I've got your vitamins. I'm
You
nutritious.
are our vitamins.
Well, I have them in my body, and I don't know how we're gonna make this exchange work, but I'm very excited to see how this plays.
We're gonna leech them out of you. So after every episode of DesiQuest is launched, we release another episode of the Tea Kettle with me and Omar, and then some very special guests or guest from either behind or in front of the camera. And guess what? We got one of each. We got one of each. We'll start with Rekha. We got Rekha Shankar, who plays Laddoo Auntie on the show. We love us some Rekha. Rekha, hi.
Hi.
Oh, so excited. And then from behind that camera, we got the one, the only, the guy who is, just the super glue to this thing, Michael Schaubach, our director.
Hey, hi, everybody. How does this work? So if you talk, are you on or are we always on? I need to know if I need a nonverbal face. Do I need a nonverbal acting face? How does this work?
I want to say yes just because I want to see that anyway. But I think these are just going to be on audio, so you're probably fine.
I just did a podcast where I thought it was video and dressed up very nice and then learned that it was audio after everything. So I'm asking these questions up top.
That's
also, yeah. So
listen,
this is all audio. This is video.
Yeah.
This is going to be all audio. Yeah. Yeah.
So do you want to
just for us, for our chemistry?
Yes. Do you want to describe your character, Shaubach, of how you're rolling in? No budget. It's all audio.
So, I'm playing the role of Michael Schaubach, Hollywood director today. My mustache is freshly waxed.
Yes.
Thinking I was going to be on camera. The beard is a little unruly, but whatever. My hair is, perfection. It is absolutely perfection. I don't know how else to explain it. I have a swoop of gray that I feature.
Yep.
One, because it just works that way. And two, my mother had the same swoop of gray and styled her hair. It was the 1980s when she had it. The one single swoop of gray, and she did something similar with her hair. So I do this as an homage to my mother.
Oh my God. I love that.
And then classic breezy Hawaiian shirt today to keep things cool on a hot day in Los Angeles, California.
In autumn.
So picture that. Picture that.
Wow. Rekha?
Yeah. I'm rolling in here, absolute perfection. Mustache, not threaded. I've got, my bangs are absolutely, you can't even see it. They're fluffed to the nines. They look really, really, really good. My hair, not washed, but in a big clip because that's what you have to do. Because it's interesting when you have curly hair, oily at the top, dry at the bottom. My shirt, easy breezy, short sleeved. It's another hot day in Los Angeles, California. And I guess in terms of homages to family, I have a nose ring and my grandmother had a nose ring forever. So wonderful. That's a big homage. And I actually also have a lot of gray hairs, and that's actually my homage to Shaubach's mother.
Wow.
Wow. Great stuff. This is going to be an awesome session.
And that's our time.
Well, before we dive into episode 2, we ask all of our listeners, if you haven't already, maybe you want to support us a little bit more, you can head on over to the DesiQuest.com and hop onto our mailing list. And then when you do that, you get a special discount for some merchandise. You can't see this, but I'm wearing the shirt right now. And there's going to be, probably by the time this comes out, a couple more t-shirts for you to snag or hoodies and other fun thingies. So,
a new logo. A new logo.
A new logo.
So they'll see that. They'll have already seen that. Made by
logo.
the fabulous Voodoo Val.
It's kind of cool that people listening to this will have seen something we don't know what it is.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah. What is legacy but
so
that?
Rekha, describe it. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, this logo rolls in dressed to the nines, looking perfection. Mustache not threaded.
Right.
Also, what we want to do before we start the show is that we had a bunch of sponsors come in and really take a bet and a chance on us. We didn't have any metrics to show them to be like, oh, this is how much ROI, return on investment, you're going to get. Like, no, we didn't have any of that. They were like, we love you guys. We want to support what you're doing, and we think you're going to reach an audience that matters. And so we want to shout them out. Free of charge. They didn't pay for this little thing, but we're going to shout them out anyway because we really love the folks over at Position Squared. They create a podcast called the Spark of Ages podcast. It's fantastic. I know because I'm in it sometimes, but it's a really great podcast. And where they interview founders, entrepreneurs, creators, artists, all about what sparked them to their brilliant idea that then went on to become their company that they exited, or a big piece of art that really changed things. So it's a really cool podcast hosted by Sandeep Parikh, who has a very cool last name because he might be related to me. I don't know.
Whoa.
But anyway, if you want to, support the family Parikh and check out our collective podcast together, go check out the Spark of Ages podcast. The links and stuff will be in the show notes. So there you go. That would be helpful. But now let's dive in. Let's jump into episode 102, the second episode of DesiQuest, second of what's going to be 8 episodes. And I think we could start off, let's just start off with a little bit of an introduction to Rekha's character, Laddoo Auntie. Why don't you give us a vibe check on who is Laddoo Auntie? What's she about?
She is sort of prototypical auntie, very opinionated, strong-willed, kind of emotionally aggressive, very blunt, and it doesn't even feel right to use honest, because honest doesn't mean rude, but with aunties it sort of does. But it's only because she cares. She cares very deeply. She's an incredible cook, and a lot of her skills she feels are kind of maybe more in the domestic realm. So a lot of her journey is sort of finding how her legacy lives on when she kind of has such an insular, small, immediate life in her own eyes. She how she would describe it.
Totally. And so we kind of jump into this episode 2 kitty party. When Laddoo Auntie's kind of facing off, right, against a rival. Can you take us through what you were thinking as your character, or as an actor as well, in this moment where it's revealed to you that, there's someone filling the tables full of food that you did not make? How is Laddoo Auntie taking this, and how are you, Rekha, kind of opting to play into these moments?
Well, for Laddoo Auntie, that's not good. And it's something I like about playing characters that are really one-track minded is it's really easy to know their triggers. So if you play someone who's a really good cook and always wants to feed you, if somebody else is feeding you, that's such an easy thing to be no. Nobody else is feeding you. Whose stuff is this? Why is it here? It tastes worse.
Hey, so sorry to interrupt, but the rest of this episode is for our Patreon subscribers only. So if you'd like to hear the rest of this juicy conversation, let me tell you, it gets juicy. There's another 50 minutes, 50 of this conversation over at patreon.com/DesiQuest. Thank you so much for supporting the show.